Hello, we're back again and with having conversation with the Museum of Scroll, and I think it's just some bad internet connection, but that's okay. We're just waiting for Mariam or yeah. I think Mariam, it's just bad internet connection. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Uh,
We still have some limitations when it comes to internet. We have internet
yeah,
connection problems. Yes.
I think the internet is trying to really like take this conversation forward because I think we have disconnected thrice.
Yeah, we have tried
Huh.
this.
No, but I think it's very interesting because internet and social media does give us some kind of freedom. Like it
Yeah,
does give us. I'm sure when you are organizing your projects at Museum of Scroll, you do tend to understand the freedom that internet gives us and the
yeah,
audience and the exposure and like jitna expand ho sakta hai. But then obviously there are limitations and they're very very small limitations because
yeah,
I think disconnection of internet is something that we can't like we don't even really think of it in that way now because internet is something that we don't really, we can't live without so hum so I think we also have a fear of that जब जब जैसे ही हमारा इंटरनेट
yeah,
खत्म होने वाला होता है we have a fear that we will be disconnected from the world.
yeah,
So I think there
yeah,
are limitations, but I think these are actually ideas that
yes, exactly.
ideas that have really shaped the way the way I think our lifestyles have changed because it is something that we're dependent on now.
Yes,
So
yeah,
I think, yeah, so coming back to taking something seriously because
yeah,
you are going to give a space that is not going to be like a physical gallery, but something which is very accessible to anybody. So how do you think that, yes, you said that if you take it seriously, but do you have some kind of strategy because you know uh, it's different like yes everybody is using social media but then when you go to different pages you do get a feel of what this person is trying to present okay
yes.
so through your grade or algorithm or whatever you're going to present do you have certain kind of strategies to how you want to present it and and especially one thing जो मैं जिसमें interested हूँ interestingly all of the people who are running Museum of Scroll they're all women young
Yeah,
women so do you think कि because through internet it has really changed the identities have changed like you said the realities have changed so do you think that this somewhere comes in the whole process and in the whole project.
yeah. Okay, so going back to your first question.
Mm.
So you're totally right. You know, when you visit someone's page, you do get some sense of their personality because they have created their visual counterparts on social media. So they're all leaving some form of digital footprint on internet. When we post a selfie, when we post a comment, but whatever we do, because internet has a space which doesn't die down, right? So like if you posted something on Facebook like in 2007, it's still there because Facebook is still there, right? Unless you went back and deleted it, that is a whole different scenario. But like your digital footprint is being left on it, internet, and this is how internet is perceiving you. This is how what internet thinks of you. This is what internet shows to other people. Like this is what Ravani Sharjil is, even though those people don't know you in real life. So what we have
Mm.
planned is when you have a grid, when you have a medium, when you have a page, so you have to be very, very, very conscious that how are you going to present the information, what kind of an experience it's going to be. I'll share. I think we did share on the museum page as well. People, artists who are working in other countries who have utilized Instagram to make art, they have been very methodological. You know, they have made it a part of their life. Just like you said before, that internet and social media does become a part of our life, and we don't even realize. हम उठते जागते हाथ में फोन लेके हर वक्त इसको अपने साथ ले लेके फिरते हैं, हमारी पॉकेट में होता है. It's a part of us. और जब इंटरनेट चला जाता है तो एकदम से we realize कि oh, what are we gonna do? So like एकदम से we are disconnected. We हमारा उससे छूट गया. तो इसी तरह we know that we have to be very careful कि जो हम लोग experience curate कर रहे हैं ना, it's something that makes people like, you know, आप जब असल में भी आर्ट बना रहे होते हैं तो आप इतना सोचते हैं एक विजुअल बनाते हो क्योंकि आपको वो आर्ट लैंग्वेज आती है. You know कि with just like people who write novels, people who writers, they know what things to write. जिससे उनका viewer जो है वो engrossed हो जाए, they start imagining all those things. इससे ना एक painter, एक sculptor, एक artist knows कि वो visual की power क्या है, and how is that artist going to make that viewer just go deep into the work and like, you know, understand those images and scenarios. इसीलिए जो इंस्टा का हमारा रिजम स्कूल का पेज है, just because we are facing a greater challenge because they can just like, you know, wipe it up and like go to some other page and see something other, and there's so many distractions around them. We what we want to do is we want to make those visuals which will be compelling enough for them to stay. We want those visuals to be raising all sorts of questions. We want those visuals to provoke people, so they're able to like, you know, stay, because we are part of a jungle where everybody is running. We are always running.
Yeah.
Internet, we were running. We can't. We don't stop. We don't think. We don't want to think. We just want to avoid it. But our goal is to make people stop. Even to understand what the thing is doing to uh, transform our realities in the future. And the second thing that you said, it being run by six young women, I think totally. Just think about it. If we wanted to do it in real life, we would be facing so many challenges, right? And being a women in Pakistan is somewhat like, you know, we are the privileged ones who are able to do things according to our own accord. But like even then, it's difficult for us. So internet has given us such a huge, big opportunity where it's very easy for us to do it from the comfort of our own homes. And it's because of the social media and internet. If it wasn't there, I don't think we will be doing this very smoothly. We will be able to do it because like I said, we are privileged, but we will be facing a lot of problems, which we don't face. Not the same problem.
So yeah. So now, because there are 6 females who are running Museum of Scroll, but all 6 have different practices, different art practices, different interests, different mediums even, and different experiences. Like I know that Abir has a working experience with the gallery. I know that 2 of Amira's work has, like, you know, 2 or 3 people have been a part of Tasweerghar before. So how as a team it is, how difficult it is or how easy it is. I know that you guys were together in the same batch you guys were, so you guys have been through, you guys have seen each other's processes, but having to develop a project and having different experiences and having different interests and mediums, how do you kind of you know, like incorporate in terms of कि किसी को किसी आर्टिस्ट का काम पसंद आ रहा है और किसी को नहीं पसंद आ रहा, and what are the concerns around when you're selecting the work? Because बहुत दफ़ा इस तरह होता है कि because your own practice is different, because you belong from a different school of thought, you reject and you accept on those bases. ठीक है? So how does it happen? Okay, Amira is saying we have allocated jobs according to our...
Definitely, we are very different people. We have very different practices. But like the thing that is helping us, that we know each other. We have known each other for the last 5 years. We are friends. That also helps. And I'm also gonna say that is also a challenge. What we have done is we realize each other's strengths. So we utilizing all those things. Like, you know, each person comes with a specific skill set, and we're trying to utilize that to the extent. And we also I think in the end it's about teamwork. It's about how you have learned teamwork through your university or college, or like just by growing up. I think it's a huge part of becoming a professional person later in your life. If you don't know how to work as a team or in a team, you're always going to struggle. So like even though some ideas are like individual, some likes and dislikes are individual, we share them, we communicate, and
Yeah.
this is how we. And in the end, we always respect. So like if there's some sort of conflict, we will just vote on it. We will just say like if most people out of 6 people, 4 people are like saying one thing, then let's just do that one thing. And it's a
Yeah.
very for us it's a very nice and good learning experience because we're not fighting. We realize that we're going to help each other when you're doing
Yeah. Also,
something challenging different.
disagreeing
Yeah.
is very important.
Yes.
As
You're right.
so,
It is. It is.
so do you think that this Museum of Scroll, which has uh, basically the project which revolves around the internet and social media, do you think somewhere after some years, you or maybe some time, you guys will want to present it in a physical space? Or is it going, or
Yeah.
you think, even if you do you think you would want to stick to what uh, the context of space that we were talking, and people experiencing it in a different way, and the 3D and the tangible and everything? So do you think you guys will kind of shift from that? Or because I do understand that having a gallery and having and that kind of experience is very exciting, and it's exciting because you are surrounded by these conversations where everybody's talking. Exhibition ki opening thi, catalog tha, and everybody's talking about that, so you
Yeah.
kind of feel that energy and you feel excited about that. But because you guys are presenting a totally different thing, so do you think somewhere you would want to do this?
Yeah, I think I definitely see it as a possibility, but like on our own terms. We in future, if we go somehow like make it a physical thing, we do some project which is like physical too, and it's also happening on internet. It would be on our own terms because I share one project that we shared. This woman who performed through Instagram for months. So she did that without telling anyone. It was, and in the end, after 6 months, she announced that everything that she did for the last 6 months, everything she posted was part of a long performance. And after
Yeah.
that, Museum of Modern Art bought that work. So it's a
Mm.
part of their digital archive. It's a part of their exhibition in the museum. So like it has become physical in some way. It has some form of physical presence, but like it
Yeah.
hasn't lost its essence. So like I think even if we go like we make it physical, we would want to stand our grounds about like this gallery, because it's I think every gallery has this core idea, core like like this, they take stand on something, and they
Yeah.
stick to their roots. So we will always stick to this idea of there being a gallery which is dedicated to showing art, which is made for internet, which is made on internet, and it's a very important thing for us.
Yeah. And I think I would really want to hear from Abir if she's online, because she has this experience of working with the gallery and how the gallery works, how the networking, how marketing, all the strategies that are attached to a physical space. How does that work? And it's going to change. Like, I'm sure you guys will have your marketing, you have your strategies of your networking and everything, but it will have a different pace altogether. And I think um, it basically, if you see, it's a parallel thing, you know. Okay, so sorry, मैंने miss कर दिया. Amira is saying maybe some time in the future, but for now it has a specific perspective for interacting with art. Yeah.
I think
Amara,
we're waiting for a bee to join. She can answer.
okay.
She definitely
Amara
has
is saying like
experience.
this, our future is virtual galleries and exhibitions. Yeah, Amara, I think right now this is something that we can see. Like Amira said, we don't really have options to going to museums right now. Though I know that a lot of people, when they have the options of going to museums, they don't really go out in museums in Lahore because we don't really have such museums. Like बहुत कम है और जो हैं वो हमें रट चुके हैं.
Yeah.
तो I think yes, virtual galleries and virtual exhibitions, but and maybe once you guys start and people get to see that this is something that can be done, like
Yeah.
you guys have a specific perspective, like she said. It is about the internet, it is about the social media, it is about how the digital world is basically presenting us, the identities and everything. The realities are changing, the time is different. So I think that's why I said a parallel world, कि वो digital बिल्कुल मतलब एक तो असल में चल रहा है जिसको हम असल कहते हैं, जिसमें हम BNU में बहुत ज़्यादा सवाल करते थे कि असल क्या है, ठीक
Yeah.
है. So maybe you guys are presenting a different version of asal, which for you guys it is because you guys have been practicing on it. So
Yeah.
I think this is very interesting. And guys, you can send in questions. And the exhibition is going live, I think, on 20th May.
Yes, 20th May.
And Museum of Scroll has already gone through a process of selecting some works and selecting artists, and they will open it, they will be opening it on the 20th.
Yes.
Yeah, also it does remove the
Remove
connotations of a
politics.
traditional museum. Yes. I think now, after this whole situation where people have started realizing that social media is something that will be used for, like literally everything, it has really changed the connotations of also interacting with other humans.
Yeah.
So it has really changed, which both has its pros and cons. Yes. Like we said, that internet also has its own limitations. And I think that, okay, so there's this one thing that comes to my mind. Like we talked about art being a class thing, right? And art being a class thing and art being an elitist thing, or seen as a luxury, right? So how do you think, I do know that most of the people are accessible to internet, okay, but how do you think that depending on internet and a good phone and a good camera, and these thoughts that come to your mind when you really thinking in terms of technology and digital and everything, how do you think it's not going to be a class thing?
Yeah, I think it's. I can't. I will be very honest. I think it's not going to happen right away. It's a very difficult thing. Even when you have internet, there's a language issue. There is this mindset issue. There's this, like, the kind of content you are into, the kind of content you are following already. There's so many. Like what internet does is, what social media does is, they save your likes and dislikes. They store that information, and then they show you the content that you are into already. So like your Twitter feed is very personalized. Your Instagram feed is personalized because Instagram and Facebook and Twitter have been using AI for a while now. So like you even though you think that you have this freedom and you can do anything, you can see anything, you can watch anything, even then you are being manipulated. You are being shown what you wanted to see already. And even if you talk about, you say that I wanted to buy this mango sweater, 2 hours later you see it on your Facebook page. So like all of
Exactly.
these, yeah, so all of these things have to be taken into the factor. And I can't say that it will not be a class thing. It will be very awami. It will be open to public and everything.
Yeah.
It will be a struggle. But what we can do is we can be very honest and we can at least try. We can at least try to be inclusive. We can at least try to use that language which is like understood by everyone. And which I think that is the exact reason that would drive anybody to work in a medium that is accessible and that is like widely available. That is why I think
Yeah.
people I think that is how art became a huge thing in America, especially with the pop art, that people started using the streets. People went outside the galleries. So whenever you keep something, in a box, when you define something in a box, it becomes a limited thing, and then it can expand. right? So like you always have to be open to the possibilities. That is why I said that even in future, if we are able to do it some form of physical thing, we will be open to do it. We won't ever say that, you know, we made our mind and this is the kind of thing we're selling and this is exactly what we're doing. We won't do anything else or learn anything else.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, like
from
Amira is saying that we have always had this debate because pehle bhi traditional art required certain tools and materials that not everyone had access to, which is right. And I think
yeah.
in that way, digital art, yes, she says digital art is just that bit more accessible because we do see like cameras have really like cameras are like in everybody's phone. Everybody has, you know, access to like at least taking a picture, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
or even having the access to upload it.
Yeah.
So I do understand that it's not we through any process, through any project, I don't think that we can cater each and every person in the world because then different mediums have different limitations. But I do understand what you're saying. It is very interesting. Okay, so I think we can take questions, but acceptance of digital art is not
That
that
much.
much in Pakistan because Amara is an illustrator and she does digital illustrations, and um, I'm sure she is very familiar with the whole process and everything. And I think you guys are also very familiar with what the market says and what, not even the market, but generally the opinion of doing digital art. Like I still know people who still say that phone photography is not serious photography.
Yeah.
ठीक है? मतलब, you know, and and sometimes it comes from people that you don't expect because you say ki, dude, like everything is happening around us, like
Yeah.
and but I also understand that I have a different exposure through social media or through internet, and I do see people who are doing phone photography and where they have taken it and how the conversation has really changed. So I think that us tarah se to I think you always end up in a conversation where it इस तरह की बात हो रही होती कि नहीं 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 फोन मतलब फोन से किया है मतलब और फोन से फोटोग्राफी सीरियस नहीं होती मतलब अच्छा ठीक है. And we I think we still see people who have done it who don't believe in this. So I
Yeah.
think we do see this a social इस तरह की gatherings होती हैं जिसपे we end up in this situation, and we are very familiar with it. But I think now because we've ended up in this situation and this has basically become a tool to express ourselves. So I think this might change the whole narrative.
Yeah, exactly.
Acceptance of
I mean,
modern art isn't
if somebody is not accepting something, then there's all the more reason for you to do it. So like I understand what Amara must go through, right? I understand what happens, but like there's always for you to how are you going to react to those comments? How are you going to take that criticism? How are you going to grow as a every person who has invented or who has created something new has gone through that phase of criticism and being rejected. So like that I think that is the motivation that we need, because people are always going to hold on to the norms because they're used to it. We as a human are like we want to be comforted. We don't want to be uncertain about things. So that is how our
yeah.
minds. We can't even blame other people for not getting it or not understanding and not. But we just have to keep doing it, because if we keep doing it, sooner or later some form of acceptance will come. When I started doing my work, I was so sure that nobody was going to understand my work, and I was the only person in my batch in a way that who did not even think that even my thesis or like even my work will somehow end up being called art by
Hmm.
people at my university, which were art students already. So it was really shocking. But like the kind of acceptance and the kind of appreciation I got just by being persistent, just by being
Yeah.
I just told myself I'm gonna keep doing it, and after that I even got shows. I worked in the real world after graduating. So like it's a part of the
Yeah.
process, and we have to be positive about it. We can't let it beat us. We can't let
Yeah,
it change.
yeah, like you said that you take it seriously and then slowly it's
Yeah,
going to work out.
yeah.
Okay. So, Amira is saying creatures of habit, Reem. Uh,
यार एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग कमेंट किसी ने किया था पिछली लाइव पे, वो हमारी लाइव बंद हो गई थी. He said कि everything is going to get lost in the on the internet जो आप लोग करेंगे. So like I just wanted to say that yes, internet information अब बहुत जल्दी pile up होती है. So like you said something and उसके ऊपर 1000 information एकदम से आ जाती है. But like
yeah.
जो चीज में पावर होती है ना, आपको रोक स्टॉप कर देने की, आपको कुछ सिखा देने की या कुछ क्वेश्चन कर देने की, वो रहती है साथ. बेशक आपने एक सेकंड के लिए देखे. इसीलिए दिस इज हाउ द वायरल पार्ट ऑफ द इंटरनेट वर्क. दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स गेट वायरल ऑन इंटरनेट. आप लोगों ने 3-3 सेकंड की जिफ्स या 5-5 सेकंड की वीडियोस भी वायरल होती देखी होंगी. आप लोगों ने एक पिक्चर भी वायरल होती देखी होगी, मीम्स भी वायरल होती देखी होंगी. एंड दे आर एबल टू डू इट बिकॉज दे हैव समथिंग इन दैट which eventually appeals to, और वो कभी भी डाई डाउन नहीं होता. फिर वो हमेशा टॉप ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन रहता है.
Amara is saying, like, for I did my show in London, but they're in Lahore. Sorry. Nobody was willing to showcase the digital form because according to them, it's not art. But now all those galleries are going online. Yeah. It's because, like Mariam said, that you just have to do it. Like, you just have to be consistent. But I
And
also
that
think
shows that
in
you
the
were doing it
beginning,
before them. Yeah.
yeah, in the beginning, it's very, it's basically you're struggling with the medium because it's very new. And it's not only with like digital illustrations, but it is also uh, like with photography. Like in galleries, people don't really exhibit photography in that way, and even if it is, they have this hesitance because they think nobody's going to buy it.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
And
It's
I
true.
think, yeah, and I think when Tasweerghar started selling photography, I think I was really surprised. We were excited, but we were really surprised that somebody was had bought like I think 4 or 5 photographs, and I think I don't think that. And I think that's why it's even more important. You know, what you are doing and what we are doing, I think it's even more important, and we have to be consistent in what we're doing, because I think somewhere, even if you don't feel it now, I think somewhere maybe after 10 years or 15 years, somebody is going to look back and say, okay, there were some people who were doing little things, you know, like changing little things and putting out little ideas. And I think why Museum of Scroll is interesting, because it is really pulling out from something that we do daily.
Yeah.
It is a part of our life, but we don't accept it as art, because our idea of art is completely different, because the way the way art was presented to us was very different. And you know, and I think जिस तरह से आपने बोला कि हम अभी तक उस सिचुएशन में नहीं है कि हम एक्सेप्ट करें कि कुछ और भी हो सकता है आर्ट. You know, so I think a lot of people are really looking forward to your exhibition, because we are forced to accept the unorthodox. Yes, we have no choice. It's been the only line thrown to us so far. Yes. Yeah. So okay, so anything else you want to add, Mariam?
Yeah, I'll just say in the end that everybody struggles. Even people who are like established artists who are painters, they also struggle. They will say things like people are only into buying drawing room art. They're not buying my experimental paintings. Then and if somebody is a photographer, they say they're not buying my photography. And if you are a digital illustrator, you say that they're not willing to showcase my illustration. And then
only miniature is selling.
Yeah. So like this, everybody struggles, and like, you know, for the only thing that we can control is our reaction and our outlook on the situation. And I think the first to change the world, to bring some form of change in the world, first you have to convince yourself. If you believe in it, if you work like, you know, work towards it very sincerely, very honestly, you will get there sooner or later. Any great medium will started as you know, like, you know, Apple started in a garage, Facebook started in a
Yeah,
dorm
yeah,
room. So like everything starts somewhere, and that this is what we, I
somewhere.
think, I'll leave it, I will leave this, like, you know, with this thought that if you believe in something, go after it. And if
Yeah,
don't think that people are not going to accept it. आर्टिस्ट जो होते हैं ना, वो ये सोच के आर्टिस्ट नहीं बनते कि बहुत इज्जत और बहुत ही ज्यादा लोगों को समझ आ
हाँ,
जाएगा. And you know, this is not why we do it. If we wanted to do something like that, we will be doing something else. We won't be
yeah, yeah,
doing this what we do. And
yes,
this is the, yeah, our responsibilities and
yes.
artists to like always be thinking about um, bringing some form of change within ourselves, and mind doing that in the long run in the world.
हाँ. अच्छा, so last question I will ask. Do you think through this internet and the elements that you have in your project, you guys want to be um, you guys want to take some social responsibility through it, or you guys want to be you know, like इस time में lockdown की situation में there is this that people are really like, you know, there's this one conversation on one side that, you know, just be productive and be happy and just like take a break. On the other hand, people are saying like, don't listen to this thing, and it's okay if you're not like mentally healthy right now, because it's like a difficult, you know, you're without, people are without their families, people are stuck in different parts of the world and all that. So do you think that sending out something that is um, is going to, obviously it's changing, you know, especially in Pakistan, it's going to change the whole gallery and the business and everything. Do you think that you want to be those responsible artists, or you just want to do your thing? Like, you know, there's some people who really take social responsibility as their, you know, like one of their values, that this is something that we have to value. But on the other hand, there's some artists who say कि okay यार, मतलब दुनिया में जो भी हो रहा है, मतलब हम अपना art कर रहे हैं, and you know, they're in a different
Yeah.
they have a different approach to it. So do you think there is this um, thing that you have in mind for this?
Yeah, I don't think we can be not socially responsible. I think it's, with internet comes, with any sort of like medium, powerful medium, comes a huge responsibility. We're not going to add hate, you know, any further hate that already exists on social media, on internet. Because all these emotions, all these things affect humans in a physical way, and we're not going to be part of that sort of conversation. And we're not like, you know, obviously if some people are like running something, their values and their opinions take over, and like, you know, because a creator will make the creation in his own image, right? So like you always can't control that, but what you can control is you can be sincere and honest, and not try to like, you know, hurt other people. I think that is what essentially being a human is. You do your thing, but you're very aware that you're not going to try and hurt other people's sentiments, or maybe other people in any other way. And that is what we want to do. Even we mentioned in our contract that we're not going to accept those works which are attacking, or like, you know, which are like going after someone in a negative or a bad way, because this is not what our goal is. We are trying to, yes, we are trying to raise questions. We are trying to talk about taboos and difficult things that people go through in real life, that, you know, they are ugly topics which should be talked about. But
Yeah,
nobody, even if you're talking about something as grave as murder, you should never take a, you know, negative stance, because that is where
yeah.
where you kill the healthy conversation. You have to be very, very aware of this. And we will definitely very socially, we are, whenever we talk about our exhibition, we do mention again and again that we have to be socially responsible, and our artist,
Yeah.
while creating the work, has to be socially responsible.
Okay, so Mariam, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for taking out time. I will want to take all names of the team members. From Museum of School, this is an initiative which revolves around the idea of internet, and they are going to have their first exhibition on 20th May, and 6 female graduates from Beaconhouse University are running this. Mariam, who's live with us right now, Amira, Mehmed, Saira, Ramesha, and Abir. And we're really looking forward to the exhibition, and we'll keep following up what this interesting initiative is all about. So, is there a last thing that you would want to share with us, and then we can wind this up?
I would just like want to thank my team for doing, like, because you know I couldn't have done it, like, and no, like, no, not even one of us could have done it alone. And I would like to thank Amira for designing such a like, you know, good promotional stuff for us, and it has been a very visual, like, you know, treat for us. And Abir has been handling the page so far, and she's been very Nemil and Sarah have been a vital force into bringing the artist and, like, you know, handling the emails. I really want to thank them. I want to thank Alicia for like, you know, teaching me how to do all this, because she did it for a few months ago. And I would really want to thank you, Rubania. There are people like you. People like you are the ones who make things possible for other people, right? So you had this powerful, you had this medium, you platform, and you utilize it to help us. And that is, I think, makes you the best, I think, in art scene right now, because you easily couldn't have done it. Like, you know, you could have like just talked about your page and your exhibitions and your thing, but like to take out time of your you know.
No, I think I immediately, thank you so much. I immediately, when I saw the page, I immediately messaged Saira and I said that, what is this about? Like, let's talk about it and just tell me what is it. And when I got to know that you 6 are doing this, and already I think 4 of you have been a part of this Tasweerghar before, I was really excited to see what is happening, कहाँ तक process पहुँचा है, कहाँ तक काम किया है, because as students भी मैंने देखा था, फिर graduate करके भी, and we have always been in contact कि क्या चल रहा है. So I think I was really excited, and I am very glad that this has happened, and let's look forward to what is going to happen on 20th.
Hopefully. Thank you so much, Rubania.
Thank you. See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.